Okay, we're now joined by senior tight end Jack Stoll. And the first question for Jack comes from Brian Christopherson with 247 Nebraska.
Hey Jack, thanks for doing this. Last year it took the offense a little while to kind of get going. What kind of gives you optimism as you go into camp here that you're in a better place with this offense that you guys can find a rhythm quicker? What gives you belief in that?
I think the biggest thing is, how competitive everyone's been. We've been coming in, putting in as much work as, we have been able to, with all the rules and restrictions that we've been given. And, everyone, every chance we have has been competing extremely well. And, you can just see year after year, there's progression. And, specifically this year, I mean, we're feeling extremely confident and, moving the ball really well in practice. So, I think again it's just building blocks on building blocks, and I think some of those have started to add up, and I think we're looking really clean and really good out there.
Our next question comes from Sam McEwen with the Omaha World Herald. Okay, we'll move on to Parker Gabriel, Lincoln Journal-Star.
Hey, Jack. I'm curious. I think a lot of us ask questions about Matt Lubick and sort of first impressions back in the spring. Now you've had a chance to be around him, at least to some degree, the past few weeks and for the past few months. How would you describe him to someone, and what has been working with him in addition to Sean Beckton been like so far this year?
Yeah, so absolutely, obviously, I've been working with Coach Beck for it's going on 3 years now. Unbelievable guy, and he's done a great job in the tight end room, and I only have high things to say about him. But Coach Lubick, the more I get to know him, the more I like him. He's a great guy. He's probably one of the most knowledgeable guys on the coaching staff as far as football scheme wise, and he's just a fun guy to be around, and he's one of those guys. He lives and breathes football, and that's what you want out of your OC, and he's just been great to have around, and what he's come up with, and what he's done to help specifically the offense is been tremendous, and we look forward to seeing what else he can come up with, and helping this team move forward.
A lot of guys have they have things they harp on, or things that you hear from them a lot. Like what with Lubick, like where do you start with that? What are his regular sort of points of focus?
I think very similar to everyone else on the offense, it's go full speed. No matter what you're doing, do it full speed. If you're gonna make a mistake, do it at full speed, and you're like Coach Frost has always said, as long as you're going full speed, we'll be okay. So that's something they're harping on, and then also, as we've started to be under this offense for a few years now, it's starting to get some of the details down. Whether that's making the routes look crisper, making sure we make the right calls in the run scheme and stuff like that. So I think just going full speed and making sure we clean up all the little things.
Okay, we'll go back to Sam McEwen with the Omaha World Herald.
Hey Jack, thanks for doing this today. There was a lot of talk last year about from your coaches about having to get better around Adrian Martinez or whoever the quarterback would be. How do you feel like your group, the tight ends and the wide receivers, the guys who catch the ball from Adrian, your two groups, how do you think you guys have improved, and who has jumped out to you among those newcomers who have joined the team maybe in the last, 6 months?
Yeah, so I think a lot of people have ended up making a ton of strides. There's a lot of guys making plays out there, and specifically in the tight end room, we don't really have too many new guys coming in. We have Nate Borkacher, who he's a walk-on from Aurora, but we're a pretty veteran tight end group, and I think we just continually make strides. I think specifically this year in receiving, you can see us going out there making more plays. Whether that's Austin Allen, whether that's Travis Vogla, Kurt Rafdahl, we're just going out there and making plays, and we're getting the ball a lot more. So that's something that's we just got to keep continuing to detail up and make sure that continues. Receiver wise, I think there's a lot of guys doing a lot of good things. Levi Falk coming in has done a great job. Cade's done a great job as always. One of the smartest, hardest working guys on the team. I think Alante has turned some eyes. When he goes full speed, I don't think anyone can stop him. And, there's a ton of other guys in the wide receiver room specifically who have, really turned it on. And, we're just excited to see what they can do.
Hey, Jack, you just said that you guys are getting the ball more at tight end. Why is that? What changed maybe in your guys' system or approach that means you guys are getting the ball more?
I think Coach Lubick has done a great job of, coming up with, route schemes and stuff like that to help, not only the tight ends, but, everyone else get the ball and put us in the best situations to win. So, I think that's part of it. The other part of it is I think we're just going out there and making more plays and, because we're a little more detailed on some of our routes, running at full speed more of the time. And, just some of the smaller details like that really end up turning, what could be, a throw to the flat for 3 yards into a 15-yard gain because we ended up coming out of our break a little bit faster. And, I think it's just minor details that have helped us a lot. And, I think Coach Lubick's done a good job of drawing up some schemes for, not only the tight ends, but wide receivers, running backs as well.
Our next question comes from Derek Peterson with Hail Varsity.
Hey, Jack. Have you seen Travis Vokalek grow since he's gotten to campus?
Yeah, absolutely. He's become a lot more detailed football player. When he came in, he's obviously unbelievable athlete and great blocking tight end and great receiving tight end. Really versatile guy. But I think the biggest thing he's grown on is technique. His technique's gotten a lot better since he's been here. I think that's attributable to to the coaching staff, Coach Becton, and they've done a good job of molding specifically him to having a lot better technique than when he first came in. And I think he's just done a great job of getting his nose in the playbook and just getting an understanding of the offense. And that's something that really kind of makes guys stand out. I think that's something, specifically in the tight end room, we pride ourselves is in knowing the offense and being able to be interchangeable.
Thanks.
Our next question comes from Sean Callahan, Husker Online.
Yeah, Jack, I was wondering, how have guys adjusted to kind of the daily testing regimen you guys are doing? And as one of the leaders, how do you kind of enforce to guys to maybe do the right things outside of the facility to kind of keep the virus under control?
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of something we're harping. We realize if some guys make some poor decisions off the field, that could cost us not being able to play on the field. So specifically we got a good group of leaders who are making sure their position group is doing the right thing off the field. And if they get caught doing something they probably shouldn't be doing, there's a stern talking to, and we'll end up getting them right. Fortunately there haven't been too many circumstances like that so far that we've seen, but as far as adjusting to the testing, that hasn't affected our practice schedule or anything like that. It'll make us come in a little bit in the afternoon and get tested, make sure everyone's safe. So we're just rolling with it. It's just something that we got to deal with, and so does every other team playing college football. So we're just getting used to it, getting acclimated to it, and just looking forward for a few weeks when we play Ohio State.
And then, Jack, you're a senior, and the NCAA has said everybody gets a free year of eligibility this year. Have you and some of the seniors kind of discussed that? Like, hey, you know what, this may not be my last year at Nebraska if I don't want it to be at this point.
To be honest with you, we're all looking forward to this season. We've put in so much work as far as, the past 4 or 5 years that this group of seniors been in here. We're just looking forward to this season. That's what our entire focus is. It's Ohio State. The week after that will be Wisconsin, and so on and so on. So, that's a discussion, I think that, we'll obviously have towards the tail end of the season, probably more December, January-ish. But, for now, we're more talking about schemes for Ohio State, getting everyone ready to play.
Our final question for Jack comes from Andy Kendi with KETV.
Hey, Jack, question for you about Adrian. How do you see him? How have you seen him evolve over the years, grow not just on the field and his ability, but also off the field?
Yeah, so Adrian's made great strides since he's been here. He came in, was asked to be the starting quarterback at a young age, and I think he's grown in that role tremendously. I think the biggest thing for him again is the understanding of the offense. That's something he's grown into, and obviously from last year, 2 years ago, he has a lot better of an understanding. And even these extra few months we have where we were uncertain, whether we were going to have a season or not. He really just spent a lot of time, making sure he got the playbook down and, made sure he was prepared, and so did everyone else on the team. Everyone in that quarterback room did the same thing. Adrian did it, Luke did it, Logan did it, Matt Masker did it. Really everyone ended up doing it. So, that's just an attribute to everyone. And, I think everyone's been growing through this time and using it as a time to, just prepare for whatever was going to come. I think we did a good job of, kind of getting used to these turbulent times and just pushing through it.
Hey, Jack, real quick, as a follow-up, have you guys talked collectively as a unit, maybe playing with a chip on your shoulder, given the schedule that you have and given the opportunity you have to prove something, not only to yourselves, but to the Big Ten as a whole, what's in front of you?
I think we've always just had a chip on our shoulders. It's one of those deals where, just being told we weren't going to be able to play this year, it was, and being told we were, we're just grateful that we can go out there and play again. And, I think that's, if anything, it'll make us realize that, you never know when football can be taken away from you. So, it's really motivated me. It's motivated a lot of other people to, make sure every day we're out there, we're giving it our all and, giving everything for this program, this coaching staff, the other players, most importantly. And, as always, we're just going to continue to play with a chip on our shoulder. We feel like we got a lot to prove, and we're just going to keep grinding, making sure that we can prove that.
Okay, thank you, Jack. And we'll have offensive coordinator Matt Lubick here in just a couple minutes.